Back with another one. Today I'm going to give you a spoiler-free review and a few of my thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. No spoilers. So Deadpool and Wolverine is directed by Sean Levy, who directed Free Guy starring Ryan Reynolds, and he also directed Real Steel starring Hugh Jackman. So it looks like he has both of his go-to guys in his latest film, Deadpool and Wolverine. So obviously we have our two main stars, that being Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. I won't get into anybody else that's in the movie because, like I said before, this is a spoiler-free review. I don't want to spoil it for you, and if you haven't seen the movie, please be careful scrolling around on the internet. There are major leaks out there, major spoilers. You will ruin the whole movie for yourself. You don't want to do that. So to give you a brief synopsis of the film, we get the loudmouth, sarcastic Deadpool who teams up with Wolverine to defeat a common enemy who threatens the existence of their respective realities. I got a lot of good things to say about this movie. Deadpool and Wolverine got a lot of things right, so we'll just jump right into it. The action scenes were bloody, the cuts, the stabs, the guns, everything was satisfying. I could tell that Marvel knew what the audience wanted with the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and they delivered. We got exactly what we wanted, especially the fight scenes between Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, when they're trying to hurt or kill each other, they go for the jugular. And they both have that healing regeneration factor amongst themselves, so it's just really fun to watch. And a lot of the slow motion shots that were used were super cool to me. I love a slow motion shot in a fight scene, so bravo. The chemistry between Deadpool and Wolverine is unmatched, and I'm speaking about the characters on screen and the actual actors, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. You can tell they have a real relationship with each other, and it's just fun to work around each other. It's a clash between two completely different personalities that are forced to work together in order to achieve this goal, and it's hilarious. We all know that Wolverine is more of a serious, straight to the point type of guy, and you mix that together with Deadpool's infinite annoying remarks and sarcasm. It's just really fun to see these personalities bounce off of each other. A lot of the humor actually hit the mark for me, and I know that may sound strange because, you know, if you've been watching my reviews for a while now, I typically give Marvel a hard time for trying to force jokes so much, but with the Deadpool movies, I think those are the exception. A lot of that stuff is funny to me. Just saying. You see, everything wasn't all jokes and fun and games though. Hugh Jackman did a really good job showcasing his emotional range portraying Wolverine. In this movie, Wolverine is haunted by his past. He's angry, he's bitter, he feels like a failure. He feels like he failed his team, the X-Men. There's certain things that took place that, I don't want to spoil it. Spoiler-free review. But yeah, Hugh Jackman's emotional dialogue scenes were super convincing and they felt genuine. The same thing with Deadpool. You could tell that they were both sincere in their quest to fix or change their respective realities. And that goes for Deadpool as well. It seemed like Deadpool was truly appreciative about finally being able to unite with Wolverine. And to be honest, I could tell that that was a genuine moment between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. If you've been following the Fox X-Men franchise for a while, you know that this is something that they've been trying to pull off for a long time, and they finally did it, so bravo. If you've been following the Deadpool movies, you know that Deadpool usually breaks the fourth wall. Every time he does it, it's funny, it's honest. He does it a couple times in this movie. Won't say too much because it's a spoiler-free review. But yeah, it's a moment in there where he basically acknowledges the recent or the current state of Marvel and how they've been on a decline as of lately. It's been a little shaky with the product they've been putting out. So he makes sure he talks about that. It's honest, it's cutthroat, and it's funny. So, all right, so the cameos, the cameo appearances, the special appearances. I know you're thinking like, how can I talk about it without spoiling it? Watch this. One of my biggest concerns leading up to this movie was the cameo aspect of it. Heard a lot of rumors, seen a lot of he say, she say type of stuff. Me personally, I did my best to avoid all the leaks and stuff on the internet. I only watched the first trailer, so I felt that would be best for me to avoid anything that I did not want to be spoiled. I felt that the cameos were done successfully. The cameos caught me by surprise. Everything was a big shock to me when certain things happened. The individuals that showed up in this movie did a great job, in my opinion. They weren't just there to be there. They drove the plot forward, and that's all I could really ask for. There were certain people that showed up, how can I say it? There were certain people that showed up that did a good job displaying or showcasing their ability, their powers and stuff like that. People that you wouldn't, or people that I didn't expect to see. So everything was fresh, it was new, and it was fun. And I appreciated that. And it was good seeing certain individuals too. It's like, damn, it's been a minute since we've seen your face. Certain people definitely held it down. We may have not seen them in a long time, but they have not lost a step. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it was really good to see a lot of these cameos that showed up in this movie. And another thing was the chemistry between everybody. The chemistry between the characters and the cameos and everybody put together, how they interacted, how they helped each other, how they just worked off of each other. And that was really cool to me. It was refreshing to see, and it was fun, man. It was fun. Again, I'm more so happy that the cameos felt more than just an empty fan service type of thing, you know? Each cameo brought something to the table, and they were introduced in a way that kept us on our toes and kept us guessing. It was fun. I'm telling y'all, they did a good job with this. I think that Deadpool and Wolverine is what Multiverse of Madness and Flash wish they could be, you know? They did the cameos right. It was still fun to watch, it was still exciting, but they didn't lose sight of plot. They didn't lose sight of writing. Flash was just flat out garbage. Multiverse of Madness had its problems too. I don't really think that's going to stand the test of time, but nevertheless, Deadpool and Wolverine did it right. And of course, I have to address the elephant in the room. Over 20 years, and we finally get to see Wolverine in that classic yellow and blue suit. It was really good to see that. There's a certain moment in the movie, of course I won't spoil it, but it had my theater jumping and cheering and clapping. It was really good to see certain things. I'll just leave it at that. And I also liked how they brought Wolverine back into the mix, given the events that took place in the movie Logan. No spoilers, I'll just leave it at that. The pacing of the movie felt perfect to me. This is the longest Deadpool movie, and it didn't drag at all, and it also didn't feel rushed. It was fun, it was exciting, the cameo reveals were fun, unexpected. Everything was just fun about this movie. It was a good movie. Like, if I had to give a con for Deadpool and Wolverine, it would probably be the villain that was in this movie. She felt underdeveloped, she felt one-dimensional, and even though she was extremely powerful, she didn't really have a fear factor. I felt like they relied so much on who she was related to. Like, we know the person she's related to, but that wasn't enough for me to be fully invested or to really care about this person, you know? I feel that the villain created these stakes that were clearly higher than Deadpool 1 and 2, but I felt the stakes in Deadpool 1 and 2 more, if that makes sense, you know? And I think that's because, honestly, I don't think Marvel was interested in putting some big level threat into this movie. This wasn't about the villain, if we're being honest. This was about Deadpool and Wolverine, just being honest. So maybe introduce something that have us invested a little bit more, because it was basically like, you know, Deadpool teams up with Wolverine to stop the bad guy from doing this bad thing, you know. Which leads me to my factual opinion. I told you I'm gonna start doing this a little bit more. Moving forward, I think Marvel should be a little bit more careful about how they approach these movies that have so many moving parts, so many characters, so many cameos, all of these things happening. Focus on writing, focus on making the movie good first. Then you can add the extra stuff like cameos, and we just want to make sure that the movie is good and it's not popular because of who's in it or who's supposed to be in it. You know, I think moving forward, it's going to be a major thing for me when I watch these Marvel movies. It's going to be a cameo versus plot type of thing. Is this movie popular? Is it good because of who's in it, or is it good because it's good? Focus on what can be thought-provoking. Focus on what can move the audience, something that could possibly make us choose a side. Kind of like Captain America Civil War. Like, that movie was perfect. Going forward with the Marvel movies, the way I'm going to judge them is cameos versus plot. Is this movie good, or is this movie popular? You know? But so if I had to rate and categorize Deadpool, I would probably give it a 8 out of 10 in this part of the Rewatchers Club. This movie was good enough for me to sit and watch it again, and I will be doing that probably tomorrow. And one of the things that I appreciated the most was at the very end. It's like while the credits were rolling, they gave us a montage of all of these Marvel movies, not just Disney's MCU. They included a lot of Fox franchise X-Men movies. So I thought that was cool. It felt like a major payoff to all the longtime fans of Marvel, not just Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I thought that was cool. All in all, man, I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the humor, I enjoyed the experience, I enjoyed the action, the acting. Overall, this was a pretty solid movie. It wasn't perfect, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Do yourself a favor, if you haven't seen it yet, avoid the spoilers, avoid the internet. It's crazy out there. And I have a fun fact for you today, so here we go. Okay, so when Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige finally sat down with Sean Levy about the direction and their plans for Deadpool and Wolverine, he only had one request. His one request was that they finally put Wolverine in that yellow and blue classic suit, and that's what we got. So those are my thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. As always, thank you for watching and thank you for supporting me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you've seen the movie, please leave a comment on what you thought about the movie. I would love to read it. And I will catch you on the next one.